Well, it's been a minute, but we're bringing Just the Tip Tuesday back just in time to recap bear season, preview elk season, talk about the shenanigans that we inevitably will encounter this year and have already encountered. So just want to make our presence felt and let you know that we will be back on the regular for our Just the Tip Tuesdays. I'm Mike Edgehouse here with Ryan Smith, and he's going to take it away now.
Yeah, we're we're excited to be back. It's kind of that summer weather bringing us out, and it's just kind of been tough to track each other down to do this, taking vacations, hunting bears, and so I'm glad we're back on the podcast doing this. Hopefully, we can get a few more rolled out for the listeners.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'm happy too.
I'm really excited for this.
With the 110-degree weather, it's a hell of a lot easier to find time to podcast than when the weather's 80 degrees and we have unfilled tags. So, what do you say we start with talking about some hilarious bear adventures that we had and how bear season went, and then we could preview
Yeah,
a little bit
yeah,
what we're going to talk about with elk season.
yeah. I'm actually really interested. I was with Mike on his first bear he shot, but he told me he called in a bear on a second bear. I missed that. I still haven't even heard the story. I
Oh shoot.
really want to know how you called in that bear and if it was on purpose or not, because that wouldn't be my first guess. Is calling in a bear.
Well, in full transparency, I did not shoot said bear because I want to save my second bear tag and a second bear tag unit for a fall bear when they're big and full of fat from huckleberries and animals they're eating and everything else. So, but we were in a location north of Lewiston, Idaho. So we'll just call that northern Idaho, and in an area that we've seen a lot of bear sign. And there was a lot of just random ass hiking around with rifles, talking, stopping in random spots to call a bear. Um, I had gotten the idea, as well as my hunting partner that I was with, gotten the idea because the North Idaho Bear Facebook page, a lot of people had been calling in bears. And so we said, well, we should give that a try. So we went to Black Sheep, and they didn't have any fawn and distress calls or anything else. They only had a rabbit call. And being completely green and not knowing what the hell we're doing with it, we're like, rabbit call sounds good. Bears eat rabbits, I guess. So, we took it out and random stops in areas with no sign, called for 20 minutes, sat there waiting, nothing. And then, we hiked a little further, gotten away. And this isn't an area you can bait in this unit, but nobody is willing to bait as far back as we were. Like it would be completely foolish to bait. Not that baiting is like an easy way to kill bears. In fact, I think bears come into bait, but baiting it, as I've experienced with you, is a huge pain in the butt, right? Like anyone that says that's cheating, they don't know the whole process of baiting and how big of a pain in the hind end it really fricking is. So we were out there, got out there in the heat of the day, tried calling bears, nothing happened. So we went even deeper and got into an area where we're like, this looks like there should be some bear here. There was water, there was a meadow, there was this really freaking steep burn, and a bunch of bears. And the bear was
That
fresh.
helps.
Yeah, I mean, so we set up, um, you know, actually on like this old logging cut and started blowing the old magical flute, the old rabbit in distress call like crazy, right? And literally like just neither of us had ever done it. So we were just yarding on the thing, right? I mean, it sounded like somebody was sacrificing a cat to Satan or something. Like it was freaking horrible. Like I remember looking over at my hunting partner, I'm like, I'm not sure that sounds right. And he's like, I don't know how they're supposed to sound. I said, me neither. Keep blowing on it though. Maybe something will happen. So it was about 4 minutes into him blowing on this magical flute. And I look up and it's burned. So it's all black up on the hillside, old burned pine forest. And this bear, no, comes sprinting downhill, like full on sprinting. A couple times it tripped over stuff because it was so steep, and it's sprinting downhill. And I was like, oh my God, bear, 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 bear. And he's like, what, where? And he stops blowing on the flute and he drops down. And now him and I standing on this old logging cut, and I had my rifle just in case, as well as my 10 just in case. And it was his shot. Him and I getting ready, trying to shoot like probably 600 vertical feet up at 280 yards, really resembled two like monkeys trying to fornicate with a basketball. Like that's what we said. We were like bouncing around, looking like we were like riding the short bus to school. Like it was really comical. I wish we would have filmed it because we look so stupid. And as we're bouncing around, we're talking because we're so excited. We're like, oh my God, we just called in a freaking bear. And it's sprinting downhill and it stops like 200 yards and like literally puts on the brakes and just kind of stops and looks at us for a second and starts walking cross hill. And he lost it and I kept my glass on it. Anyway, story gets better. So it's walking sideways and it's so steep. He has his bipod extended like 2.5 feet and barely has his eye in the scope and gets his sight on it, squeezes one off, and I'm watching through my binoculars and I can see the bullet hits the bear and it hits it a little bit low and the bear just kind of sits down and kind of gives that like, oh, geez, that hurt.
What
And
just
stayed
happened?
there. Yeah, like what the? And I was just coming down to eat a rabbit and something just like stung me. And then it turns off and starts running uphill. Now, when I hunt, if I make a shot and it's not a kill shot, if someone says you hit it but put another one in it, my initial response is, well, if I hit it, let's see what happens for a few seconds. But this bear was sprinting uphill, right? And it would have ended up, that first shot would have been a kill shot. So I look at him like, dude, you missed, rack and go again. And he's like, there ain't no way I missed. And I saw it hit, but I didn't know what to say. And so he racks another one real quick. And he's like, you on it? I'm like, I'm on it. And he squeezes the trigger. And sure as crap, as soon as that gun went boom, that bear started somersaulting backwards. I'm like, oh, you hit it that time. That bear's dead as hell. And so we're standing down at the bottom. The bear only rolls halfway down. We have like 200 yards to hike up this steep hill. And I was like, where'd you aim? He's like, well, it was sprinting uphill. So I just kind of aimed for its head, thinking since it was sprinting, it would hit it between the shoulders because it was sprinting uphill. I'm like, oh, okay. And drop them. So the hill, just for reference, is so steep. We're going up on all fours. Like we have to have 3 points of contact at all times going up this hill. Like that's how steep this hill was that this bear was sprinting down. And so we get to the bear and it's dead as a doornail. And I was like, where do you think that second shot hit it? And we roll it over. He hit it in the head. He hit it right in the, and I was like, he looked at me, he's like, well, I didn't mean to do that. And I was like, well, kill it right away. And he's like, yeah, but I didn't mean to hit it in the head. And I was like, well, you aimed at the head. And we started thinking about it. Like,
he hit it in the head.
Oh, I mean, no, it dropped like in like a second. It hit it in the head. And so that's what we think will make a really cool Euro mount. Like when you get to Euro mounted, like the bullet didn't come out. So it has to be lodged in that skull somewhere. So that'll be pretty cool. But when we were kind of wandering around aimlessly, we were joking. He's like, if I see a bear on one of these logging roads and it's 80 yards away, I'm just shooting it in the face. I'm shooting it in the head. And that's like my saying, like anytime like anybody has a chance to kill an elk or whatever, if they're not in the horns, I'm like, shoot it in the face. It'll die right away. Like it's just always my running joke. And so I started calling him Babe Ruth on the way home. Like, dude, you called your shot at like 3 PM and then shot a bear in the head at 7 PM. And he's like, but I didn't mean to shoot it in the head. I'm like, well, it did the job. So it was so steep that we had to basically, and this routine, tie it up and roll it down the hill because it was way too steep. So it got down to the meadow, took us maybe 30 minutes with both of us with knives, like slicing and dicing, getting it all packed up. And the best part was it was a solid, like maybe 75-yard pack out to the car on an old logging road.
Nice.
Oh, it was freaking perfect, man. It was so great. So, we got so lucky. But I will tell you my opinion of calling in bears. Like I love calling elk, but calling in bears and calling in elk are two entirely different games when you really think about it. When you call in an elk, and if you listen to all the professionals, you go to our Elknot app, you go to and listen to Elk Bros, you listen to, Michael Batiste at the Elk Calling Academy, you listen to all these people give all this knowledge. You're like, why when a bull bugles at you like crazy, do you bugle back? Like you want a real surefire way, that lost calf sound. Like you listen to Joel Turner, like that lost calf sound, or, the passive cow sound, like that's going to bring those horny bulls in. So I always say, like, calling an elk, that elk's coming in to caress you. Well, I mean, in elk terms, it's coming in to make a baby with you,
Yeah,
right?
that slutty cow talk.
Yeah, the slutty cow talk. But when you call in a bear, that bear's coming in to eat you or eat whatever the hell is making that sound. They're two different types of calling in animals. And I will tell you, I'm so addicted to calling in bears now. I mean, what I learned is setting up and blind calling, no sign, or like, rocks turned over, recently flipped stumps or whatever, might not be the most productive thing. But if you find fresh bear poop or fresh sign, like they've just been digging holes looking for grubs and stuff, and you start tooting on that magic whistle and a bear can hear it, because bears can't see for crap, as we know, but they can hear really well. Like if they hear that, that's a free dinner bell. And it was really one of the coolest things that I got to experience, man. And like I said, I'm addicted. I mean, I've made it no stranger on Instagram how much I love eating bear meat as well. Like I absolutely love bear meat. And I managed to get a couple pints of fat off of the bear we killed together, Ryan. And I've been cooking steak in it, eggs in it, everything, and it has fueled the fire to get a fall bear that I'm able to get 30 of those pint jars of fat and make biscuits and everything with. I'm enamored. Now, we're still going to kill elk, we're still going to kill deer, but boy, do I like bear hunting, man. It's super fun. And
It's fun.
Being out in the woods, I mean, hunting an alpha predator, it's a pretty cool thing to hunt an alpha predator. Like even as you pointed out, even the small bears kill 10 fawns or calves or whatever a year. We pointed that out. So like even killing a small bear, and people poo-poo on the 2 to 3 year old bears that people kill, etc. Like that 2-year-old bear is still going to kill 8 to 10 fawns or 8 to 10 calves. Right. Like like if you want to hunt elk and hunt deer and have that preserved in the future, you have to do your part with predator management. I mean, you don't have to, but it's really good to, and they taste delicious. Like the burgers, ground bear, we put out a bunch of YouTube videos on different things. Mm-hmm. And what I've come to with bear butchering and stuff on our Cut Right YouTube channel. But after this season, I don't know, man. Bear steaks are good. You still got to cook them really well. But why not just grind that bear with some bacon and have the absolute best hamburgers you're ever going to have in your life? Like they beat ground elk and ground deer by a long shot.
Yeah, they have a more natural fatty flavor to them. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've told you this. I mean, I've had a well done bear steak, a well done elk steak, a well done cow steak, beef steak, and bear beef it every time.
Every day. I agree.
On the well done, I'm like, if you could have a medium rare bear, I think it would beat all of them. But you can't.
Right.
But for well done, it's amazing how good a well done bear steak is, because none of the other ones are good at all.
Right. No, the well done anything else tastes like a well done steak, really bad. Right. Yeah. But well done bear is still freaking delicious. I agree with you. So, and then
so good.
Ryan's glassing over the fantastically fun couple days of hunting we had together over in northern Idaho as well. That was, man, I had so much fun. Like if I had any hair, like it would be on fire. I had so much fun. Like it was just a hoot. I mean, we were
good spring.
Man, it was super fun. Like we were laughing. We took some naps. We had serendipitous encounters. We ate some fantastic freaking bologna sandwiches.
They were fantastic.
Oh my God, they're so good.
Good conversations.
Oh, it was just such a great couple days of hunting, man. Like I honestly, I can't wait. I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait for next spring to bear hunt again because like it's so much fun, dude. I love it, and I know like elk season's coming up. I'm excited for that too. It's hard to get excited when it's 110 up here in Coeur d'Alene, but but still getting ready. But it's really hard to get that motivation right now.
Well, I was talking to a friend today, and I was like, we are so lucky here in Idaho because we got spring turkey, spring bear, and then we have a little gap, and then like I've got an August pronghorn antelope hunt, then I go into September for elk, and then you got October deer,
Yep.
which I drew a November muzzleloader hunt. So I've got November deer, and then if I buy a out-of-state deer tag, I can hunt in December with my bow for deer. And then you've got wolf hunting January, February, March, and then you're in spring bear again.
I know. I tell you, we are blessed in Idaho. Being residents of Idaho is great. With that being said, Idaho's full. There's no more houses for sale for people that are looking to move and get their residency. It's full. So
don't come here. Every house is $1 million.
Every house is $1 million. Like cousin Eddie said on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation when he was like full, like Idaho's full, like forget it, like not happening. I mean, we're lucky. And I mean, me personally, yes, again, I'm not cocky. I'm confident that, Luke and I are going to knock down some elk. We put in many years of work to find an area that is fairly consistent for us. It's still a lot of work finding them, but we know where they're at. So we're fairly confident if we have 5 days, we're going to knock down some elk. And once that happens, you're going to see me finding fall bear. Like I'm going ardent after fall bear. Like
you calling, or are you glassing, or are you pretty set on you want to call in a bear?
I don't know. I don't know. First of all, I don't know. I mean, that was pure ass luck, right? That was just I was internet trolling. So let's not say I'm an expert calling a freaking bear. But my understanding is calling in bear is useful like in late May and June when animals are dropping their calves, right? But it may not be as useful in the fall. But I don't know. Everybody up here tells me that they're on berry patches and stuff in the fall, and we've located some prolific berry patches that are so far away from any remote ability to get there easy that I can't imagine the Birkenstock wearing berry pickers are going to make their way up to them in any way, shape, or form. I think if I'm able to get up there, and avoid messing up people's elk hunts, which is good because I didn't see many elk in this area, and get in there well before first light and just sit and watch. I think there's going to be bears just kind of meandering around, and I'm going to pick the biggest, fattest one I can find and shoot it.
Well, that sounds right, because when we baited in the fall, I haven't baited in the fall since I was in high school with my family. But the spring, the bears move a lot more. You don't get the bears sitting on the bait as long. They're looking for the sows and heat. They're traveling, but in the fall, I think they find a good spot to eat and they don't leave.
Yes,
I think they're trying to get fat, and so and like you said, the fawns aren't there. They're not, they're still fawns, but they've grown. They can run. They can escape. And so that makes sense. You've got some berry patches. Are you going to go set up a little bait? See if you can get
No, I'm not going to. Where I want to go, I mean, I'm going to double dip. I'm going to pick huckleberries till my pack can't carry them anymore. And
until your poop's blue?
Until my poop's blue and smells like fruit. And then I'm going to shoot a bear. And so with any luck, I'll have a couple 5-gallon buckets of huckleberries and a couple 100-pound pack of bear meat hiking out of there.
Awesome.
And people, I mean, I will look like, friggin' Beverly Hillbillies hiking out of there carrying 2 5-gallon buckets of huckleberries and a dead bear.
Hey,
it'll be
it,
fantastic.
it doubles as a seat.
I
Okay.
tell you, man. So, yeah, man, it's been great. And now, what are you thinking with elk? Are you getting excited for elk season, or not yet, or what's your deal?
I just went and bought my tags today. I've been thinking about it a lot. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Need to start shooting my bow a little bit more now,
Mhm.
since I'm kind of slowing down. So we've got plans to set up the trail cameras the end of this month. The trail cameras have really never helped us because we'd like to run and gun, calling and just that's sit in wallows, sit in these places. That's not
Kind of
always
sucks.
why. Yeah, it's not why we elk hunt.
No.
We just love getting the pictures, seeing what's in the area,
Mhm.
and so we use our cellular cameras because and you can't even put your cellular cameras in the best spot, but it's just fun to see them and get the texts at night, and see kind of what's in the
Absolutely.
area.
Yeah.
And so you're not in those deep wallows in the shade or anything like that. You're up on the top of a mountain, and so you'll get stuff running by. We get bears and cats and elk, but we're gonna go set it up because it's just fun to see what's going on. But we're doing that at the end of this month. But it's always good to get in your hunting area to just kind of glass, see what's going on, and but we're excited. But like I said, August I've got antelope season.
Yep.
And we don't sit in a blind for antelope. I kind of look at antelope hunting as my prep for elk season.
Oh, really?
Because if
Okay.
you can sneak in on an antelope, you can sneak in on an elk.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they have such good eyes, and so it just gets me kind of used to sneak in, being slow. Like we like to call an elk, but we're not afraid to sneak in on them either. One of our
Yeah.
favorite plays is actually if you got a bull that's pretty loud, but he's not leaving his his herd. He's got some hot cows or something with him. He's not leaving them to come to you, but he's being really vocal. Sometimes we'll just leave a collar to keep him making noise, and then you kind of sneak in by yourself. And
Yep.
so it kind of just gets you ready, gets you going, and because it's tough to sneak on an antelope. I've snuck in on deer and elk, and they're not as hard as an antelope. So kind of August gets me ready for real hunt, which is September.
Nice.
But,
Yeah. So
we can get an antelope.
I don't do antelope. If I ever drew the tag I've put in for forever for antelope, I'd go down and shoot one. I do one of these days I will. Even though I did my dissertation on snakes, I freaking hate rattlesnakes with a passion. And I know where antelope live, rattlesnakes live, and army crawling after an antelope and coming face to face with a rattlesnake would not make my day. So I haven't done that game. And Griff and I are gonna go out. So the older son and mom are going on a little trip back east for the next 10 days. So it's Griff and I. I don't know if you saw or if the listeners saw, I posted an Instagram reel with Griff about asking him how hot he thinks it is outside. And he described
volcano
the heat equivalent to a volcano. And I was
volcano, baby.
And the best is if you listen in the background, you hear Luke, my 14-year-old, he's standing on the steps. He's like, volcano, what the heck? I mean, it's a hilarious reel. But we're making chimichurri for dinner tonight with some cold elk and a Thai salad. So a nice cool meal. But Griff and I are going to get out. I think we'll leave the house this weekend at probably 2 a.m. and get down to our area for elk hunting and make our way back in on some of the old skid roads and stuff and see if the animals are where they usually are this time of year. He wants to camp, but I was completely honest with him and I said, bud, camping when the low temperature in our elk area gets down to like 80 degrees is not enjoyable camping. Like we'll get in the tent or even sleeping outside, like you're just frothy. You're sweaty. I said, it's not that fun, dude. And I said, like, what I can do is like we can go if we get a cool break and the temps are only a high of like 88 instead of, I mean, it's 109 up here today. Like that's the last thing I'm gonna do is camp. And then, so we're kind of biding our time. I'm purposely, I'm like you, I like to run and gun for elk, but I also hunt elk solo. Minus when Luke and I go. I get a couple elk tags and Luke and I go, and then I'm a solo hunter for the most part. Occasionally I'll invite people, but I'm a run and gun, and I've learned to become more patient. But part of the thing for me is it's a physically challenging thing. And listen, I've hunted with guys that are some of the best beer drinkers I know. You can do physically challenging hunts and not be in peak physical shape, right? Like, and a couple guys and I were talking about that last night. He's like, everyone's so serious about fitness and the hunting world and stuff like that. Now he's like, he's like, I can drink beer with the best of them, but I can still go 15 miles in and pack out an elk. I was like, yeah, I think I think if people were being honest, they like to look good naked. Like that's really like I can make up and say, like, I post stories all the time of dragging the sled and like doing people won't do, so you can do stuff they can't do. Like that's kind of my thing, like doing it in heat. Honestly, I'm just trying to be the alpha dad of my neighborhood up here. Like I like pulling that sled around while all the dads are inside in the air conditioner and I'm out in 110 pulling the sled. But like, do I do it for elk hunting? I don't know. I think I've killed just as many elk as when I wasn't in peak shape. I just kind of want to look good on the boat. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Like make it fun again, guys. Like don't take it too serious.
But I mean, with that, I mean we've all done the hike in for 15 miles and hunted, and when we're out of shape, and you do it because you have the mental strength to do it, the mental fortitude, and
Yeah.
But when you're in shape, it's a heck of a lot easier.
It is a heck of a lot easier.
It's just a heck of a lot easier.
There's no denying it. It really is a heck of a lot easier. You might be less and stuff, but you know what I'm saying? Like people, my buddy pointed out, he's like, it's just the hunting sphere with the physical fitness and stuff has gotten so serious. Like everyone is so serious about their physical fitness with hunting and stuff. It's become like the new, like I remember 20 years ago, triathlons were the huge thing, and maybe they still are, but I'm out of that circle. And like everyone's so serious, like like everyone's so serious. Like I think you need to be physically fit, but like in my opinion, you're better off becoming a better marksman with your rifle or your bow than being able to go out and run 10 miles at 7.5-minute miles.
You watched the videos and read the how-tos. But when you walk up to your kill, everything changes. Your mind goes blank. You're tired of your $30 tag turning into a $400 butcher bill. Taking home other people's kill? Your family is sick of eating ground game meat. You've run out of recipes for your kill. The Cut-Rite mobile app is the answer to all these scenarios, bringing everything after the kill to the palm of your hand. Learn how to field dress, butcher, and prepare meals from your game with curated recipes. Provide for your family with confidence. The only digital tool you need in your kill kit.
Would it be ideal to do both? Yes. But if I had a choice, go shoot your bow for an hour and become a better marksman, or your rifle for an hour, and then go for a 2-mile run around the neighborhood just to be in somewhat physical shape. Like that would be that's me. That's me though. That's what I think.
Well, and even just like, understanding the language, learning the how to call better, understand what the elk are saying. There's, there's so many things we can do to improve ourselves that doesn't even have to revolve around fitness. And I agree, we make it sound like fitness is the most important. I mean, I would say getting a good pair of boots is more important than fitness, because if you can't walk, you can't go.
I mean, for me, I'll be honest with you, like, I'm yet to find my favorite pair of hunting pants. Like, I'll sacrifice some physical fitness if I can get that pair of hunting pants that the crotch isn't going to blow out, they're ultra lightweight, and they're going to hold up to some of the areas that I hunt in. Like, there are certain things that are important. Like, and I know there'll be tons of recommendations like, oh, Walmart has them, this has it. I've tried all that stuff, man. And I blow them out. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting on a hillside with like expensive name brand pants, and I'm like, man, that breeze is kind of cold on the old giblets down low. And I'll look down low and I'll be like, oh, that's because there's no more crotch in these pants after wearing them 6 times.
Giblets to babies. Dang it.
Yeah. And
Cold
so,
weather.
like I said, I just, and we did our physical fitness arc on this and our in shape arc. And I think it's important to be in shape, but I don't think anything should sacrifice the fun of hunting. Like, I was going to get some t-shirts made for if anyone comes hunting with me and have them wearing that says make hunting fun again, because everyone just gets so darn serious. I mean, you've seen me when I hunt, like, I can get serious, but like at the same time, man, we were laughing nonstop on that bear hunt. Like, that's fun hunting, man. Like, make hunting fun.
We had
again.
a blast.
Oh, it's meant to be fun. You're getting out there, escaping the stresses of life. Maybe you're in it for peace and tranquility. Maybe you're in it to, like, you're hell bent on killing a big bull, and those are your goals. Like, my goal every year now is I just want to have the most fun as I can and recharge batteries as much as I can. And usually that means killing an animal of some sort. I am not picky. Like, I do not need any more horns up on my wall. I will put more horns up, but I really want, I mean, as Jim Huntsman said, like, the trophy is the meat in the freezer. Like, and that's my trophy. I want meat in the freezer, man.
Well, and I think Instagram puts some of that pressure on you that makes it not fun. We've talked about it a little bit. Everybody, we've got the Elk Nut app, we've got Cut Right, on. We want animals down so we can have videos of butchering them, for the app and for content. And I think there's a lot of other people that, they feel this pressure, even if they're just wanting to grow their Instagram or do these things. And it puts pressure on you. And then you're hunting, you're hunting for this instead of what the real reason why you should be out there is just to enjoy yourself, have a good time, and, not take yourself too seriously. And everyone has to learn that at some point, You know what I might do, since I run the Cut Right thing, and pay attention for this post coming out, instead of the animal down, the big bull that we know, like Phelps and, Born and Raised always post everyone's bull pictures and stuff, I may request, 20-second videos of your funnest thing you did hunting, your funniest, like, camera capture, your funniest moment. Like, I have 5 of them from last year that I can think about, like running on a logging road with a buddy, and like he stops and he's like, what in the hell are we doing this for? I'm like, I don't know, probably because we're going to make some sort of stupid reel out of it or something, but we have no chance of getting those animals. Now, that, to me, that's fun. Like, that's fun. Like, there's no pressure. Like, we know those animals are so freaking far away, but we're running like a couple of dingbats, like knowing we ain't going to get there. Like, I may post something like that, some sort of challenge like that. Like, let's have a little bit of fun out there, like, prep, do whatever you're going to do for prep, whatever is important to you. If it's fitness, that's important to you. If it's making some money to buy new stuff, that's important to you. If it's practicing your craft, that's important to you. But when you get out there, like, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, don't brag and don't post pictures of your animal and stuff like that, but don't let that be the guiding thing, unless that's really what you're after, right? Unless you pull one of those coveted bull tags that you're like, I'm getting that 350 bull this year. And we're not saying we don't take it seriously. We take it really seriously.
We take it very seriously.
We want to be successful, and we go out there for for that reason. But yes, we're also not able to take 30 days off in the month of September. You know, we got to pick and choose our days. We have to take days off, and so you just enjoy the process.
You got to enjoy the process. You got to laugh at yourself sometimes. You got to laugh at the scenario. Like, you know, I've been with too many people. I mean, I've been with too many people that literally get really down on themselves, almost tears in their eyes, super frustrated, and thinking to myself, man, we're out here, like, God only knows how many miles from anybody else. No one's around. Yeah, we totally blew that one, but like, look at this. Like, and then crack some sort of joke. I mean, just approach it with seriousness, but with still a light heart. Does that make sense?
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. So,
you know. Well, listen, brother, we're at 35 minutes. I think this one will come up first, and we're going to hit it again a couple days and then a couple times in the next few days. So what are we going to talk about tomorrow?
Man, to be continued. There's a few things I'd like to talk about.
Okay.
But to be continued. I'm not quite sure the best thing. I'd like to hear a few more bear stories still.
Okay.
But I'd like to hear what we're both doing mainly to get ready for elk season. What's our
Done.
process? And
That'd be great.
you know, I know I'm hunting antelope, but the hunt I'm thinking about is elk. You know, I mean, that's really what we're in this for. You know,
I mean,
elk season.
Let's be honest, the elk is going to feel the freezer a lot faster than one antelope and one whitetail will. So
hey, I shot a spike 2 years ago that wasn't very big,
but it was tasty.
It was so good.
It was so good.
I wish I still had it full.
I know. All right, brother. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for listening.